A time when an adult's expectations didn't seem beneficial to me would have to be in high school when my parents would put an immense amount of pressure on me to get good grades and perform well on tests. And to an extent, I get that, they push you because they want you to do well and they want to make sure you're studying. But then there's also a point where I knew that I was doing the work and I was doing the best that I could. So my parents' added pressure was not helping me to perform better. It was actually just making things more stressful for me. Okay, so one time when I felt defeated because I could not meet a certain adult's expectations would have to be when I was dancing in high school and I decided to stop doing solos at dance competitions. It was because they caused me a lot of anxiety. I didn't like performing by myself. It was always really tiring, and I used to almost have panic attacks before I would go on stage and perform. So I told my parents that I didn't want to do solos anymore. And I know that it really upset my mom because she wanted me to do solos and to keep pushing myself. But I just knew that it wasn't enjoyable for me and it caused me more stress than it was fun. So ultimately, I decided to go with my decision of not to do solos, and my mom did get over it. But a time when high expectations helped me to mature or grow would definitely have to be when my grandmother was sick and I had to basically take care of my sister and I for a certain period of time because my mom was always taking care of my grandmother. And even though it wasn't that I didn't want that role and it just wasn't really an option, but that time period definitely helped me to mature in a number of different ways and to be more independent. Also, in school, there are often different assignments and papers and tasks that I couldn't have ever imagined myself being able to complete, but then somehow they always get done, and it's um, nice to see myself be able to achieve those things, especially since I wouldn't have thought that I would be able to do that. On the other hand, too much pressure can definitely be discouraging in a way, and especially if it's not something that you want to do. And I've also experienced that in my life, but I always feel like it ends up working out, and that you just have to really be vocal about what you want and what makes you happy. But at the same time, you have to be open to growing and trying new things.
When I was in my freshman and sophomore year of high school, my ballet teacher taught the class and expected everyone to know what he was saying and what he was um, presenting rather than explaining how each movement and each step works. I didn't gain anything from his class because because I never was taught anything until I found another source. This is going to sound awful. I've gotten a lot of compliments on my dancing, and that has made me want to make everyone else happy most of the time than myself. And don't get me wrong, I love dancing, but I felt like I was letting people down if I didn't achieve this goal of Juilliard. And thankfully it happened, but there was a time when I got an email saying that I was on the wait list. And for 3 weeks, I was in the worst mood. I was in a funk. I just didn't feel like I lived up to what people were saying, and I felt like I was letting everyone down.
Started from the bottom, now we're here.